Hello students, welcome to Joy Study Point. I hope you all are fine. So today we are starting with this poem, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, which has been composed by Maya Angelou. In this poem, we will discuss about the life is a testament. Angelou's life is a testament to the whole black Americans' lives and the way they have struggled throughout the history against every form of exploitation and looked for freedom. So this poem signs that narration through the traditional metaphor of bird. So here you can see the summary of the poem first. So there are two birds in the poem. First bird is free. It represents the white American. And second bird is caged. It represents the black American. The free bird leads a life of dignity, grandeur, and infinite possibilities to fly in the sky. But the cage bird leads life of fear, longing, and subjugation. So the free bird continues to enjoy life and broadens his horizons. The cage bird continues to sink deeper and deeper into the negation of his very existence. But the cage bird still continues to sing of his desire for freedom. So, this is the summary of the poem which we will discuss line by line in stanzas. So, now we are starting line by line summary of our first stanza, second stanza, then third, then fourth, then fifth, and then sixth. So this is first stanza. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. So here in this stanza, the poet is adding contrast to the title of the poem and begins with a description of a free bird. And here it describes how a bird that is free to fly and perform all kinds of tricks in the air. And a free bird can flow with the wind streams. And it reminds us of the people who are free to live as they wish and they can do whatever they want to. And a free bird dips his wings. The free bird dips his wings in the orange sun rays. In the orange sun rays, as it is a person who is free. A person who is free can take part in the brightness of the world, and only a free person can dare to claim the sky. That's why freedom knows no limit. Freedom knows no limit. So this is second stanza. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. So now in this stanza the poet talks a bird. The poet talks a bird who is limited to narrow cage, who is limited to his narrow cage. Such a bird cannot see, through his bars of rage, Restriction from freedom fills us with hesitation. If anybody restrict you from freedom, that fills you with hesitation towards life. And in such anger, one cannot see ahead. So that's why a bird inside the cage and has no wings to fly, because they are clipped, and his feet are tied. He cannot go anywhere. So he can use only his throat, which is free to sing. It reminds us of the poets. It reminds us of the poet's own life in which she faced so much but kept singing poems. So, this is third stanza. The caged bird sings with fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill. For the caged bird sings of freedom. So, here again the poet compares the free bird to a caged bird. Free bird to a caged bird who can only sing fearfully due to the lack of freedom. Most of the things from the outer world are unknown to the cage bird, so he longs for them. A song travels from his tune means a song travels from place to place. So the song of the cage bird can also be heard in distant hills. It means her claims for freedom through her poetry are now known in distant places too. Okay, so this is your third stanza's explanation. So this is fourth stanza. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the shine trees, and the fat worms waiting on a down bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. In this stanza, the poet primarily draws out the fact that only in freedom one can see the beauty of the world. Only in freedom one can see the beauty of this world. The free bird thinks of a comfortable breeze of him. The wind goes softly through the trees. He has good food to eat. The fat worms are waiting for him on a beautiful lawn where he can freely fly and eat them. He has the freedom to name his own sky. The lack of freedom doesn't allow a person to even name things for him. So, this is fifth stanza. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. So here, alternatively, the poet speaks of a caged bird that is dreams. His dreams remain dreams without any fruition into reality. He stands on the grave of his own dreams, which died out slowly. A caged bird is afraid of its own shadow. His dreams are now turned into nightmare. And his shadow reminds him of that. So it is the unimaginable exploitation which the poet and her pupil went through. As a caged bird whose wings are clipped and whose feet are tied. So she can only sing now. That bird only sing now. So this is sixth and last stanza of this poem. So the caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown, but longed for still, and his time is here on the distant hill. For the caged bird sings of freedom. So here in this stanza, the poet finally ends with a gleaming picture of a caged bird who sings rapidly alternating tune full of fear, full of fear. The poem, as a song, repeats its earlier images of longing for the unknown in a cage bird. So is still hope. There is still hope because his tune is traveling across distant places, and everyone in noticing, because he sings for freedom, because the cage bird sings of freedom. I hope so. You like the explanation of these stanzas of this poem. So if you like, please like the please tap the like button and subscribe my channel. Thank you everyone.